Well, good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you'd please type the number 1 in the chat box. Let me know that you can. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you there, Jeff. See, Jeff types in a 3 because he's so good. There's like 3 people inside of him. Hey, Trip, afternoon. Hey, Brenda. John, good afternoon. And I'm sure for some it is morning. Welcome, welcome, Jennifer. There you go. Barry, welcome, 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 everyone. Yeah, there Jeff goes, yep, that's me. Hey, Karen, good morning or good afternoon. Whichever one it may be for you. Jennifer's on phone today. Whatever it takes, Jennifer, right? Whatever it takes. Right? Whatever it takes to get you going. Robert K, hello, good afternoon to you. Good morning to me. There you go, Robert. Erica, good afternoon. There you go, Jennifer. You enjoying your retirement, Jennifer? I hope so. It's an amazing day when you're able to walk away from that BOSS, huh? That JOB. Truly is. All right. Well, welcome, everyone. Yep, can't be happier. That is great. That's awesome. I'm so happy for you. All right. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Keep in mind, everything we look at is for educational purposes only. Nothing is meant to be advice or recommendations. A lot of stuff happening this week, guys. Here we are, the 8th, right? August 11th is Inner Circle, which we do once every month. Patterns in a Flash coming up on the 18th. Monster Market Moves on the 17th. Trading You, the next one is on the 24th. E-mini, Brandon's got a great training he does for his Q&A for his students. Outstanding. I always love when he does that. Mastermind, of course, Tuesday night, which is mañana. Power Hour Trading Coaches Playbook are on regular schedule this week. How to Trade the Markets. Brandon's got a phenomenal class coming up, guys. That's the 17th. It's this Wednesday. Do not miss it. And then Power Option Plays, Covered Call Explorer, E-mini are on the regular schedule this week. Here's our follow us page. Make sure that you are. And I need to get something added to this page. Lee, do me a favor. Send an email up to Sean. I'm not sure if he's in here. I see we got an extra person here today, but send an email out to Sean. If you're not following along with us, guys, these are the main platforms you want to be on. But one of the things I want added to this page is the Trading Like a Boss site. Right. So if you could get that put on there for me, Lee, that would be great. Sean will get that taken care of. Guys, if you are not visiting here regularly, you're making a mistake. I mean, I spent 20 minutes in a meeting this morning talking about this page and the upcoming things we're adding to this page. Every major training that we do, free. It's all free. There's nothing on there. You can't buy anything on there. These are all free trainings. Everything that we do is free trainings are published here, and all the new ones that we come out with. So my 4-pack of charts that are my TradeStation template, right? We've got one of those going up there. It's also going to have a document to show you how to build it in any platform that you're using. We're probably going to build one out for Omega Charts where you can just download it and it's already there, right? So you'll have it already done for you. Just no cost, all free, right? So that's one going up there. How I Trade the News, that's another one that's going up there. Guys, that's where we're going to house all of these trainings. You'll be able to capitalize on them, take advantage of those trainings there. You'll also find your Power Hour and Trading Coaches Playbook will be the easiest to get to them right from there, right? Tons of free resources on this page, so make sure you check it out, right? Oh, I don't want to share that just yet. All right, so as we go and look at what's going on here this morning, guys, I want to talk about trades. So let me know what you guys have done. Drop in your trades. I want to see them. I want to see what you guys have done. Sharing, right? That's what it's all about. We're trying to build community. Everything we do here is trying to build community, getting people to communicate, to work with each other, to help others that are in that same community and help yourself. I had a conversation with somebody this weekend. It was actually on Friday about when I got started and what I did and how I felt as, just getting into this business as a trader first and then as a coach. And I told them that I was trading. I was doing extremely well. The company I was teaching, I was learning from, asked me to come to a live event where they were going to see if you wanted to be a coach, if you had what it took to be a coach. And you had to do a videotape before you went. And I did a videotape of channeling stocks, which they called rolling stocks back then. And I had to stand in front of a whiteboard And as I drew, I had my marker in my hand and I had the support and resistance lines drawn. And I'm talking and I'm saying, this is a channeling stock, right? And literally as I moved my pen, I did the next syllable in the words. It was freaking horrible how bad I was when I first got started. But had I not taken that first step, I never would have gotten where I am today, at least not to be able to help and transition others into becoming traders with a full-time, part-time. There's no way I would have ever been able to do that. So that's part of it, folks. Drop your trades in. What have you done today? I'm working from home today. I'm waiting to see. We got a mechanic supposed to be showing up today to do some work at the house, contractor. So I'm teaching from home today instead of the office. Let's see. Remind me about that in just a little bit there, Jim. Jeff said, did 2 trades this morning. One, oops. I think it's is that supposed to be oops, Jim? Jeff, oops or ops, OPPS. NVIDIA 172, 170 both put spread. Other was NVIDIA 180, 182 have back call spread. 1 minute in, both closed profitable. 2 minutes later, both put spread 50%, bear call spread 58%. Thank you, Trade Watch Alerts. I know, right? Isn't she awesome, Jeff? An amazing, Amelia doing an amazing job with that, right? Just absolutely great. Appreciate you sharing that. Larry, up 200% on the Qs. Congratulations, my friend. Brendan said $291 on the wonderful Qs in 7 minutes. I did a Qs trade as well today. Want to be the first one to say great trade, Amelia. Absolutely, Jim. She does a great job, right? Brenda did 3 contracts, right? $291, 3 contracts on the Qs. Good job. John said naked put on NVIDIA strike 165 for $1.62. Really nice, right? Brenda got a late start today, no less. Yeah. All right, Jim, that'll be perfect. Yeah. As we look at it in just a little bit, then let's do that, right? So let's see. Karen said 2 SPY trades, 1 call, 1 put, both positive. You know, I didn't get anything off on SPY today. I looked, wasn't very excited about it. I couldn't, it just didn't feel like the right trade for me. I just couldn't seem to get in the groove with it today. Qs, on the other hand, worked well, right? So, you know, looking at, let me bring the whole pivot points in, right? So we got this quick move up. We got this quick move up in here. Just can't. Let's just get a pen. It'll be easier. We got this quick move up, and we never really got a retest here. It got close, and we just went sideways. We pulled back. We got a close near and a bounce. So there was one trade right there. That was the first one, right? That's not 1X, it's trade 1, T1, trade 1, right there, 1X, and it was literally 1X was on the same one, and then the stop out was right here. XO for X out, right? So watch it pull back. We came back above, quick move up, and we failed immediately on the retest there, a little bit late this morning when I did it, but I knew I was going to be tied up and not have a lot of time anymore today. And you know, that was trade 2 there. Here was half the contracts are right there. The other half was right here. 1X, 1X, right? So however many contracts you did. And I wasn't watching here, but had I caught this failure, it was, again, a little bit late, but 11 o'clock is kind of rule of thumb of where I tend to stay away, but that doesn't mean no, right? It's just tend to. Better probability if you wait for beyond that. But we had another great move there, and that was actually a much better one. We had about $2 move on that one, where this was just about $1.50 or so. So overall, 2 good trades on Qs. Yeah, looks like IWM. Exactly, Karen. Yep. Similar pattern. So nice little move on there. And actually, the trade that Amelia shared with us. For those of you that don't know, Amelia is the curator of Trade Watch Alerts, right? Which is an alert service that we send out every day. Every trading day, she sends it out. And as you can see right here, QQQ 5-minute chart, she went ahead and bought. Now, you have to understand the way that Amelia trades these, right, is very specific. It is on the Qs. right? And when she's going long on the Qs of the spider, she's doing 13 contracts. That is a given over and over and over again. That doesn't mean you have to do 13, you can do 1, all right? So to do that, she needed, on the $322 call, she spent $2.85. So $285 per contract to enter this trade. She got out of this trade from 9:40 to 9:46, we'll call it. So she's in that trade for just about 6 minutes, right? She got out of this trade at, we'll call it 375 right there. That's 90 cents. Guys, if you're looking at 90 cents times 100 shares for one contract, that means she made $90 on $285, right? Which is where she's got a 31% rate of return down here in 6 minutes, right? But she did, if she did 10 contracts, right, times 10, and it's easier for me to do it this way, is $900. And then she had 3 more, which is another 270. So I can't do 13 times, right? That's $1,170 in 5 minutes. How many of you could have been able to call your boss and said, taking the day off, I made enough money today, I'm done, right? Well, Rob, I don't need $1,100 to do that. Okay, I get it. And for some, you may say, Rob, I need a lot more than that. And I get it. But if you need a lot more than that, you're probably dealing with a larger account. You could trade more contracts. That's the wonderful thing about Qs and spiders. If I can drill anything into people's heads over and over again, it's learn how to trade these vehicles. Qs, spiders, again and again and again and again and again and again and again. All right? They are outstanding. Yeah, Jim did the work for me. Thanks. After I struggled doing the math. But Jim said $1,170. Amazing, Amelia. Woohoo. Yeah, she did good. She always does, Eric. Always does on a regular basis. And I mean, this is 9:45 in the morning. She's done with that trade, right? It was that kind of day. So when we look at the markets today, first I want to take us over to TradeStation. All right. So I keep and I manipulate my charts every time we go live on something. I have to manipulate my charts and move things around. I don't want to have 5 or 6 windows open when I've got Zoom open because it just kills my resources. Although I'm dealing with an i9 processor with 200 gazillion gigamegabytes of hertzes of memory and RAM, and this is a top-notch system. Doesn't matter; it's just too overbearing on it. So the ES, which was up this morning when I did my pre-market, just now turned negative 75 cents dollar. Right, the Dow is up 38, the Nasdaq's down 28 points. The RUT's still up 18. Bitcoin's up well, Ethereum's up well, gold is still up. We've got a climb in crude. We were down to 88 and change this morning, so we're up to $1.49 to 90 and a half right now on crude. Okay, so there you go. Crude oil continuous contract. You can see how it's gone in the last week or so. Very nice, very happy with the price of oil. I saw $3.89 a gallon last night in a town called Oceanside by us. So it's about 20 minutes from us, 25 minutes. Great prices, right? Which means Costco is going to be even lower than that, right? Which is where I get my gas a lot, is at Costco. They're usually 20 or 30 cents less than everybody else. Probably not the $3.89, but we're probably looking at, my guess is $3.79, $3.69, $79 at Costco. So Jim said, yes, very good. $1,170 times 4 days a week, times 50 weeks, 234 grand a year. Many people can quit their jobs. Most people can quit their jobs, right? There you go. Trip said 342 here, and that's in Tennessee for a trip on gas. So yeah, it's getting better. It's getting better, right? The White House said that it's all based on their efforts. So I'm glad the White House was able to fix the high gas prices that somebody has caused. And get things back in perspective for us. So we look at the markets, guys. I want to look at, it seems to go down almost every day. Tripp said, yeah, I heard something. It was on CNBC that it was 45 days. This was last week, 45 days in a row. We've had lower gas prices. I've never tested it or checked it, but those were the numbers I saw. Yeah, there you go, Tripp. Exactly. Yeah, Jim, I hear you. And you know where I was going with that. So guys, we look at the S&P 500, and I highlighted this over the weekend in power option plays, right? And when I say this, let me get rid of that. Let me grab this. That looks better. V top down to V bottom. Okay, in there right now. But what had happened there was we wound up with a dreaded box of neutrality, right? And here's the deal. You've got 41.77, which is our current fib. You've got 41.81, which is the major fib level. And then you've got 4,200 right there. So there's a lot of resistance between these three lines all together, right? And the funny thing was, if you go back the last major time we hit this, I think the fib line was like 491. You had 81, 91, and then the 4,200 level. So you had 10, 10, 10 as far as distance goes. But we got back into the exact same box. And the reason that this box may not be as perfect as the first one was, is I literally drew this box to match the bottoms and the top of the rectangle that were on the left-hand side. In other words, I'm taking a confluence pattern from the left, or a pattern from the left, and making a confluence on the right, right? So I dropped the exact same box in there, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days so far, we've been inside that box. Doesn't mean you can't pop out like we did today. And what did we do? What did we do on this pop out? Let's do it that way. Let's stretchy stretch. Let's pull it down. Really get in your face with it, right? Make it easier to see. We stretched all the way up that black line, 41.81. Boom, we hit it, right? And this was literally the way I've been talking about it for weeks, is we're going to hit it and we're going to pull back. And that's exactly what we've done. And I've said it, that doesn't mean we're going down from here. That's not what this represents at all, okay? For me, that true bullish market comes in if we can close above the 41.81 retest and bounce, right? And the bounce needs to take us above the 4,200 level, because it's the next major resistance, and it's right above where the 81 level is, right? 19 points. So we're looking for some move above that. But we broke out of the box just enough to stick our head above the top of the trees and bring it back down again, right? That right there was the first step. Where we go from here now, what the next pieces or the next step in the phase is, are going to be predicated on what continues to happen with earnings, which a lot of them are out right now. And when I say out, I remember we were looking at 10, 12, 13 companies at one point that in a 3-week span of our companies on power option plays had earnings coming out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right now, I've got 4 companies in the next 3 weeks of these 20 that I track that have earnings coming out on them. That's it. And then the straggler is Adobe. They're the 5th one, but they're not until September 15th. They're not an issue for us right now, right? So that 41.81 level, hit it today. Not crushed it, hit it. The crushing it is the breakout, getting up to 4,200, 4,210, pulling back to 41.81 and bouncing. That's what I'm looking for at this point, right? And it doesn't have to go all the way up that high, but I need it above 41.81. A retest of the 41.81 and a bounce is great. 4,200 will be the next stepping stone, the next failure point, right? And that's what leads us into our topic today when we talk about trading major resistances on the S&P 500. I didn't say it, but that's what we've been talking about for the last 5 or 8 minutes already here, is this is what we need to see. And can you still see a breakout if we don't get that pattern? Can we still be successful if it works or operates differently? And the answer is yes, without a doubt you can. But I'm not saying that this is the only way. Rob's way is the only way. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is this. If we can get a close above that 41.81 level, come back and retest it and bounce, will be a better entry than trying to take that breakout of it right there, or any singular breakout. If we go and it closes like this today, and tomorrow we open up here, stretch down a little bit, and we pop up, and let's say that's a current price right there, right? And that's our candle right there, okay? So it's a bullish candle. That doesn't mean that we're ready to take that bullish entry, because 5 minutes later, half hour later, that candle could literally look like it did, small body, there's the wicks, and could wind up just like that all over again, right? Now, I'm not saying that you should not take a breakout at all. That is completely up to you on what way you trade. Let me just shut this off. My trading partner is texting me, and I just need to silence him for a moment. That will be good. Not an easy task to do for my trading partner. So you want to make sure that you've got your best opportunity being right. Does that mean I'm going to hit a home run every time? Does that mean I'm right every time? No. Right? Could I miss out on it? Yes, I could. Am I okay with that? Yes, I'm okay with that. Power option plays were up over 900 grand in our non-funded account this year. Why? Because we follow the rules. We take the trades. We don't fight, right? We're not chasing after the wrong trades. We're only going after the right trades in the right moment at the right time, right? That's the goal of what you need to do here too. Find the right setup and look for the proper move. We continue to move up over the next couple of days, and then we get this, right? Pull back and bounce, right? And assuming that all my moving averages are in the right order, right? 8, 21, and 55. Assuming that that's all set up and we get that retest, what have I just done? I've aligned the stars as best as I possibly can to give myself the best chance of being right with minimal risk by taking an entry as it bounces off of that major level. Now, this could be trading the SPY, or it could be looking for that bounce to coincide with an equity, a stock that you're looking at, whether it's an Apple, a Microsoft, a Qualcomm, whomever, doesn't matter. To let that stock also be moving off a level. Now you've just formed another alliance, another confluence, but not an 8 moving average at a fib level. It's the SPY or the S&P 500 is showing an entry pattern, and now so do these 8 stocks. And folks, you can find a series of stocks that give you entries if you just spend a little bit of time going through and doing the work. All right, let me go look at the questions real quick because I think some things popped in there. Yeah, take a peek above the trees. Exactly, Robert. Trip. That's exactly what it is. Roman said you should take a break out and sit on your hands reviewing Rob's rules. Let's see. Brendan said I'm up over $500 million on my paper trading account. There you go. Jim said suggestion: let your trading partner know to make an entry on his mobile device, not contact you Monday from 12 to 1. It's more of a I am busting your chops than anything else, Jim. That's exactly what it is. It's done on purpose. As he was a sports announcer, and I would have him at a Kentucky Derby, and I'd be texting him while he's at the Kentucky Derby. So, all right. So, and when I'm talking about here, we've had even a worse looking move right now since I froze it by drawing on the screen, and we're now down. Well, it's a whopping 3 points, so it's not that big a deal, right? But we are down. Okay. So if we look. Let me put this back in proper perspective. So Jim had said something of we're above the 882. We need to redraw the fibs. And you're absolutely right, Jim. You're 1,000,000% right. Here's my problem. So the rules on Fibonacci's, and I'll just review them real quickly here. Either A, jot them down quick, or B, go back and watch the recording of it. Okay. So if we close, come on. All right, there we go. If we close below the -618, that is one place that you need to look to redraw the fibs. Doesn't mean you redraw, you're looking for a place to redraw. Second place is if we close above the 882, which is right about here, right? Which we have closed above the 882. It means you look for a place to redraw, okay? If you have a move that's greater than the next move, in other words, or than the previous move, in other words, if we had a series of candles that look like this, let's say that this continued to move down, right? I'm just going to make it, draw really crazy, right? And we've got our fib drawn in here. Oh, I can't do it with that tool. We've got our fib drawn in here, right? And then we get our move to the upside, right? And we start seeing these happen, right? We haven't violated the -8.8, the -6.8 or the 8.82 or anything else, right? But our move from down here at our bottom to this top is greater than this move right here was. So that's a place to redraw the fibs, right? The fourth one and final one is if your fibs get to that 8 to 10 month time period long, it's time to look for a place to redraw. Well, all of those contain the phrase, look for a place to redraw. When I look at what's going on right now on the S&P, just make sure I'm not scrunched up there. Okay. When I look at what's going on the S&P right now, I didn't violate the -6.8, but I did violate the 8.82. The problem is I don't have a place to redraw from. I've got this V bottom. I've got this V bottom. It's really sideways here, right? So I need a new V top to draw from. We don't have it just yet. And depending on where that V top comes in, Jim, and for everybody, we may or may not, let's say that we get one more candle out. You know, I'm going to draw it here. I'm going to use this to draw it. It'll just make life easier, right? Pretend that's the candle. I'm doing it inside of Omega charts, right? Then at that point, I can come back here and I would grab a fib and say, okay, we would probably draw here as the fib, right? And where does that wind up? At our 50 percentile mark is what we call a hiccup along the way, right? But if we get, let's say that it takes another couple of days and we get, and I'm just going to draw one or two candles big, guys, just to make a point. Right? If we get this type of move here, if we get a larger move, then I'm probably going to draw from here off it. But point being is we don't have a place to redraw yet. So what do we do along the way? Right? We go ahead and we look left. Right? You look left consciously, and we have previous fibs. Right? Do I have other fibs drawn on here besides these? Let's see. Come on. There you go. What do you think? Do we have some fibs on here that I can go back to historically and look at? I don't delete them ever. They all stay. Rob, it's too busy. I know we're not really trying to view it this way, right? I did it to show a point, right? So yes, Jim, you're 1,000,000% spot on. We need a place to draw. I just don't have a good topping pattern. And if I try to draw, because I get this once in a while, what about in here? Right? It's okay, but we're already at the violation point with the -618 is right here. So it's just, we're drawing things as an interim. I would rather, personally, I would rather go back and use previous fib levels if we break out as our tops, in this case, tops, okay? But you're a spot on there, Jim, that we need to get a new one on there, right? You're awesome. Jim said also you can go back to May 2nd, 2022, around 22:50 in the recording, and Jim said I went in detail on how and when to redraw the fibs. So I appreciate you keeping track of that stuff. We should probably do more of that. You're welcome, Jim. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Right? Okay. Beautiful. Right? So guys, also this morning, when we look for trades, if you're not catching some of the stuff we're doing in the morning, I am loving it, man. I get back from, I hit the track usually 6 days a week. I try to get out. I'll walk, I'll run. It just depends. I have a very bad back, so I'll do whatever I can. Today was not a good day for running, so it was all walk. I did 3 miles. It was a little more than 3 miles. It was less than an hour's time. I had a pace of about 16-minute mile on my walk, which was good. It was 80. It felt like 89 degrees when I started walking out there this morning. So it was a hot day. I drank 2 liters of water while I was out there, or two Poland Springs, the 16-ounce bottles, 2 of those this morning. So a quart before I got back home, and I had already drank a quart before I left the house. Right. So by the time I get back, I clean up a little bit. I'm looking for candidates. And what we do in the mornings with the pre-market picks that show up on the social media platform that we put them out on, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, right? Just LinkedIn now as well. I think Sean's putting them out there. Baidu kind of never really came to fruition, guys, right? It was supposed to be a bearish trade. We got that. It was a bullish trade, sorry. We got that gap up. They had good news that their news was, what the heck? I wrote it down this morning. Why am I not remembering it now? Driverless approval for their Uber style cars in China, one township, I think it was there. So we got that quick move up and then a pullback. If you did this one went against you, right? First Solar was the next one, right? Great news on them. The sector's going crazy. That was a good trade. And then Tyson Foods, they were down, not surprising. Meat is down. Food, I mean, companies like this are not doing well at all, right? Big major hit. So bear call spread was what we call that. So great setup. But now, guys, just to kind of take it on a side note, how are we doing? And I don't mean here in Power Hour or anything like that. How are we doing as a nation, as a society? How is the economy holding up? What are your thoughts? And you're hearing a lot of political speak. Like it, don't like it. You've got to be able to decipher it, right? So what is that political speak telling us right now, right? You're hearing from the government that life is good. Prices are coming down. Inflation's going to get better. The Fed's out there raising rates. And then we get an amazing job report, which goes against the grain of what a recession is, right? And I spent some time the other night in Trading You, going over recession, inflation, all of that stuff. Tony did something last week on Friday, right? Which was great. So go back and watch the coach's playbook, right? Tony always does a good job. But then you start looking at what's going on with individuals and their money, all right? And we had some of the highest credit card debt in history just a month or two ago, right? And what took place now? You ready for this? All right. We had $40 billion of debt in June, 16% more than we had in May, right? It was absolutely crazy. And why? Things are getting more expensive. You're seeing more people buying food on credit cards. I go in the supermarket. Guys, I shop a lot in the supermarket. We've got a local market by us that I hit. I'm in Whole Foods. I'm in Amazon Fresh, Trader Joe's. I'm always looking at very specific things I want out of each one, right? I don't care if I got to spend a day going to each of the stores. I'm going to do it, right? And I'm watching people in there, and the charging of the credit card has just become more and more than people taking the cash out of their pocket. Now it may be easier, it may be more convenient. It may be because you're trying to get points, which is what I do. But at the end of the month, we pay our credit card bills off. We don't, knock wood, we haven't carried debt in probably 15 years that we've carried a credit card over, ever. We just don't do it. Our businesses, we don't do it. We don't. If I ain't got the money, I'm not buying it. That's me. It doesn't mean everybody can do that. That's just, we're very fortunate, very blessed that we can do that I can do that. My family can do that. But I want things spent on our American Express because I want the points. I want to be diamond. I want to get the travel perks. I want the miles and all that good stuff. I mean, I sent my kids to Denver for free, right? 4 of them. Why? Because it was points that we sent them there on, right? So you're seeing people spend more and more money on credit cards, credit card debt building because people are not paying it off. When it's up, from 6% to 16% in 1 month, that is astronomical. There's huge jumps there, right? So you've got to keep your eyes wide open, folks, going into this market. We've got some strength in the market now. Even here, for me, in power option plays, we had over the weekend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of our 20 companies. And on top of that, remember, 4 of them come out of the mix because they can't be a directional trade because their earnings coming up in the next 3 weeks. So of our 20 companies, we only had 16 available to us. And of those 16, 5 of them, we had bullish with the pullback to the 8 call setups on those, as far as this is the trade we're looking to take, right? So I am bullish on stocks, but that doesn't mean I am bullish regardless. Right now, the market is leaning in that bullish direction. We're going to capitalize on it and take advantage of it. If we're right, awesome. If it goes against us, we're going to minimize our risk, greatly minimize our risk in those trades by the way we take entries with a clear and concise entry and setting our stop in the correct place, right? All of that will help us financially, numbers wise, how good we do or do not do will all stem from those types of setups. You need to do the same thing, but you need to be looking at is there inflation? What are the interest rates doing? When's the Fed coming back? What's the rate, the Fed rate hike looking like? The percentage chance of it going up and or down, which I don't see happening anytime soon, to down, right? But we do have right now we're too far away. It's September. So we've got almost 50-50 chance of 3/4 to half, right? It's almost 50-50, at least last week when I looked, right? So lots of spending, low unemployment, high inflation. It's weird. It is very weird trip, without a doubt. Yeah, Jim, so for my back, I have 3 discs that are screwed up. I heard them. I didn't really go to college, but in my college years, I played football hard, right? I was the guy that would take your head off if I had the opportunity. No fear about if you got hurt or not. Now, my problem, wear the right equipment. I don't know what to tell you, right? If I'm hitting you hard. I'm not hitting you to just knock you down. I'm making sure you go down, right? I'm not going to take a chance I miss. I'm coming at you just like I would expect you to come at me. And I got 3 discs that are really bad. I was 22 years old working a job. I picked up a piece of steel that was 6 pounds. I turned 90 degrees, collapsed, and spent 9 weeks at home, right? And no kidding, I stood like this for about 5 weeks. I could not straighten up until I went to a witch doctor. I mean, a chiropractor. No, I loved him. He's actually a great guy. He did phenomenal on my back for me. But yeah, I agree, Jim. There's a lot of things that cause it. Wondering about Chinese stocks like Apple. Well, I mean, Apple's not a Chinese stock. It's an American company, Jennifer, but they do have some product created there, but I think that's even more Taiwan than it is China. Let's see, it makes sense. People use cover calls when times are tight. Yes, exactly, Jennifer. Yep. Let's see. Tripp said, watch the YouTube video from Ian Bremmer with the Austin Goolsbee, who said people were asked how the economy is, and they said bad. However, when asked how they were doing individually, they said fine. Okay. And how much of that comes down to, I don't want to tell people that I'm not doing well. My friends are going to see this, right? Yeah, Jim, you are right on. We're going to leave it at that. You're spot on with what you're saying. The summer is close to coming to a close. It could fall around 41.81 area, could go to the 233 and fall to much negative information out there. The FOMC rate on 9/21. Yep. Yeah, Jennifer, I got lucky with the guy that I found. Yeah, I hope it doesn't affect me too much later in life too. So I'm on a very strong program right now. As I said, I'm out there every day running, so that should help. It definitely has helped strengthen the back a little bit, but it's just a matter of what life brings every day. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look-see. I want you to drop in the can that you guys want me to take a look at. What stocks do you want me to look at? Drop them in. This is an analysis time for you, right? Rob, I already know what I'm going to do on Apple. Great. Drop it in and tell me what you're looking at. And if you can give me the details behind your trade, and I mean literally nothing more than I'm bullish on Apple or I'm bearish on Apple. I'm doing a bear call spread on American Airlines or a covered call on Delta or whatever it is. If you want to give me that kind of detail, it will help point me in a direction of what you're looking for. Otherwise, I'll analyze the stock from a support and resistance standpoint, will be the way that we go. All right. So, there you go, Robert. GME. I'm liking me some GME. All right. Meme stocks are on the rise again today, right? At least they were in pre-market. Woo! GameStop, after that 4-for-1 split, rock on like Donkey Kong, baby. Good, strong push to the upside on GameStop. Right, let me bring it back over to template 2. All right, so we broke above the 764 level. And again, if we hit the letter U on GameStop, let me hit escape there. There we go. If we hit the letter U and bring it back to a reasonable size, you can see where it was before it split. Right, and if I hit the letter U again, it takes us back to this picture right here, where historically it goes back, and this was only on July 22nd. It historically goes back to the beginning of time and says, if we had split this way all the way back, what does it look like? And readjust the entire chart all the way back to the start, right? Well, we pushed up above the 42.67, guys. So if we look, and to me, GameStop, Robert owns a bunch of GameStop, right? To me, a GameStop, if you're looking to try to trade that and you've never done it before, guys, even at this lower price, you've got to realize and understand there is severe volatility still about that could affect your stock, right? Let me just do that again because I didn't have the option chain open. So TradeStation says we're tired, we're lazy, we're not going to let you do it, right? So if you're looking right now, let's see, but not the vols that we had before, that's for sure. I'd be looking down somewhere below that 42.5 level. Go back to single. We go to 42.5 on the puts, right? If I did a put spread, right, and I did a bull put spread, 42.5, I can go down to 42, 41.25. So we got 3/4 of a point of risk there, and we're looking at 25 cents, 26 cents taking in there for 75 cents of risk. So 33% rate of return if you're right. Right? I love stuff like GameStop. Well, what if they make me buy it, Robert? What if I got to buy it at 42 bucks and they force that upon me? Okay, great. So I'm going to go out here and I'm going to sell the 47s at $1.72. Guys, I mean, and by the way, that's for the week. For the week. All right. There's a lot of financial opportunity on some of these meme stocks. GameStop's my biggest one, right? 42.67, Robert. 49.85 is the next resistance. 42.67 support. And if you want to be ultra conservative, then go and do the bull put spread below 38. So we come down here to 38. 38. We're looking at 45. Yeah, you're not going to get it for a 50-cent spread. So 45 versus 34, you got 11 cents in there for $1. So you're looking at about, what is that? 14% rate of return for the week. Still not bad whatsoever. Right? Let's see. John's asking for AMC for a covered call. All right, so AMC, they just had their earnings out. That's the only thing that's helped them at all because they were really in dire straits there, guys, right? They were just looking terrible, right? And then, of course, today they're gap up again all over with the rest of the memes out there. Everybody is rocking and rolling today. So, Bed Bath Beyond, all of them when I looked at them earlier today. So we've got above that $24 level. So if we go back and look at AMC, let's see what we've got. So AMC, we're sitting at 25.45 right now as price of stock, right? Covered call, we're going to look for that 40 delta. I've got a 38 delta. I can buy the stock at 25.42, okay? Buy the stock at 25.42. And sell the 29s for $1.71. So here's one of the things I would tell you to do, guys. Go over to the website, go over to the trading resources area. Click on that. I'm going to open it in a new tab. All right. Then work your way down to trading calculators on the left side and go to covered calls. All right. So you've got today's date in there. The stock symbol would be AMC. Stock price. And you've got to put 4 digits in there, even if it only has 2. Stock price is 25.57. 25.57. All right. Short option details. We were looking at this Friday, right? Same thing. You need all digits in here, folks. All digits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this option chain on a different page, just so I don't have to keep flipping back and forth, right? We were looking at the 40 delta. So it's a 39 delta for the 29 strike. 29.00, right? 290. 2900. All right. Premium received for the 29 is $1.79. So it's 0179. Right. You got to have all the digits in there, all 4 digits. Okay. What it does is it comes up and it does all the calculations for you. So look what's going on here, folks. 2378. We're looking at a 7% rate of return one time. For the month, it's 28%, 5 days till expiration. If you were exercised in 1 week, you'd make $5.22 of profit, which is a 21.95% rate of return. If you're exercised after 1 month, 4 weeks, right, 1059 with 57% rate of return. I don't know about you, but that's not too bad. Okay. So remember though, right? And this was, who was that? John. Okay. So remember, John, it is a high vol stock. The news is out. Is it going to stay out? No, it's not going to stay out. For right now, it's there. Can you get away with it for a week or two? Probably. Okay. So it's something to keep in mind, guys. But this calculator helps you to get a very good read on exactly what's happening. Excuse me. Exactly what's going on. Exactly what your numbers are. Does it make it good or not? You see this box is green right here. Well, if you look down here, this legend we built, it shows you based on rate of return what the color is. And this matches what I do in Covered Call Explorer. Yeah, thanks, Jennifer. Jennifer's a great tool. I love it. I love it. You're welcome, John. Absolutely. All right, let me go back. Let's go look at Brenda's asking for the Qs. Let's go into Omega charts. All right, we're going to drag that puppy out just like that. So we are on the upside, right? All the moving averages are in the right order. We're bullish bias, true bull as far as bias goes. What I want to see on this one, Brenda, is a close above the 323.73, a retest and a bounce, and at 332.5 is support. 309 to 324. We'll call it 10, 310, 14 points. Let me get all symbols here. Let's try it now. Just want to see what the average true range is. So the average true range is 14.5. We'll call it $15. So 14. We don't need a fib in there. It's close. It's close, but the moving average is about where the fib would wind up, right? But those are the levels on it, Brenda. I hope it helps. Let me know down below. Trips asking for AMD, IBM, and Micron. All right, so AMD, like the pattern, Trip, we got into a true bull bias just a couple days ago. If we can close where we are now, which is a confluence of the 100-point level and the 99.35 and a bounce, 106 is our next logical point from the upside. If we break, we've got room down to 91.55. It definitely is a switchback trade, right? Switchback setup. That'll be another training that goes on the Trading Like a Boss website. Will be that one, right? The switch, how we trade the switchback. Let's look at IBM. IBM it's in a bearish neutral bias, gapped up to neutral and failed immediately today, head above the trees. Break the 131.64 retest and drop, and we're looking at 128.38 is support. So I like that a lot. And then Micron is the next one. Okay. So we're back into a bearish bias right now. If we were to close here, there is a confluence trip at the 21 moving average with the 61.34. We're looking at 58.5. Get me down to 61, 60 3/4, retest that 61.5 and fail, and 58.5. So probably 59, 59.25 would be my support. My target. Support's 58.51. All right. I hope that helps. Veronica is asking for Netflix bullish. All right. So Netflix bullish. We already have. Ho! Boom chagalaga, baby. Oh, yeah. All right. So I didn't see it happening. Give me a second there, guys. Okay, let me share my screen. Come on. All right, so we already had closed MasterCard out. Let me go put that over here. All right, so Netflix is one of the two trades we have open right now. Right, we got in on the 3rd at when it was stock was at 224 3/4. Let's go to a bigger screen. That's probably the best we're going to get away with is that, right? So our first target was 234. We crashed right through that today. So guys, we got in at 225. Our first exit takes us out of 234. This is an absolute killer move for us on Netflix. And not because it moved in our direction. It's because we've been sideways for weeks, and finally got the right setup that we waited for. Sat on our freaking hands. We took everyone that's Italian and just muted them from talking, right? Me included. You just can't talk when you sit on your hands, right? I got to talk, and this is how I talk. But we were very muted on Netflix. We got the right setup by waiting for it, and we're up $10 move to 4 contracts. We did a 10 contract trade. So $10 move on the stock price is, call it a $7 move on the option price. We're talking about $2,500 to $3,000 we're up on this Netflix trade. Just 4 of the 10 contracts so far, right? So home run. So thank you for that one. Who was that gave me Netflix? Let's see. Veronica, thank you. Now that we've said all of that, we've been in for a couple of days, all right, on Netflix. And what happened? If we could stay at that above that 235 level, come back and retest and bounce, 252 is the next target. If we fail, your 8 moving average, which right now 227, that's what we're going to look at as our support level on Netflix. All right. So I hope that helps. Erica said bi-directional trade on SPY and Q. So let's look at SPY since we haven't looked at it yet. Good setup on SPY. Erica, very good setup on SPY, right? When I say that is, all right, hold on a second. Well, no, actually I'm off, my bad. So we're already way up here. Bidirectional would be closing near one of those levels, particularly if we can get a pullback to that 409 level. If you're looking intraday, yes, we already pushed up to the 417 and failed. That's a great opportunity there because we've got a clear and concise entry down to the 409 level. The gap up, that gap up and run would be hard for me to then take the break out of the 417. So ideally we close near one of those levels, but that fail out the 417.5 was masterful on SPY, right? If I can get it closed near the 410 level, now I've got 8 moving average and fib line, both right there. If it breaks or bounces, I've got a great bi-directional trade there, or the switchback trade. Yeah, switchback. There you go. I caught your next line there. Let's see. Erica's asking for a covered call on Amazon. Amazon's got huge premium on it. Let me go back to just 20. I don't need all of these. All right. If we look at that, we don't have a 40 delta at 42. I would not use that. I'd go to the 142s. And we're looking at $1.51. Realizing that that's $6 a month on your $140 stock you can rent out. So I do like that part of it a lot. As far as how Amazon is trading, we're in the middle of two fib lines. I would love to see us ideally be above that 144.5 level with the fib. I mean, with the renting it out. So 144, 145. So we can get 70 cents for the 145s. You have a 20% chance of that stock being taken away from you, of you being wrong come expiration day. So I love the setup. Erica said, so we would just find an option with a 40 delta to sell the covered call on Amazon. Yes, that's where, well, okay. So yes, but then you saw what I just did with that 618. We've got a resistance up there at that 618. It's a key level. It's a H factor. It's a failure point over and over again, right? So it just gives me stronger odds of being right by going on the north up side of that. All right. So Brenda, pivots are a little bit more than I could ever really teach here. I can do a very 30-second-ish overview, but all pivot levels are support and resistance. That's all they are. Most pivot calculators do not put the R's in, the halves in there, right? Which is the midpoints. I like the halves because if my numbers are too small, and what too small represents for me is if the difference of my two pivot points is less than $2, then I will use the midpoint as a target if it's more than $2. So this is 324 3/4, 326 3/4. So if I got to bounce off here, this would be target 1 and target 2, right? If I have this one down here, 324 3/4 and 323 1/2, it's less than $2, and I got to bounce off of here. So this would be my entry right here, and my target would be here. I would not use the midpoint, but that's all it is. There's support and resistance. Let it close below, retest and fail, and take the bearish entry. Close above, retest and bounce, take the entry. All right, I hope that helps. Erica, you're welcome. Roman, did I answer on Amazon for you? Not sure when you threw that in versus when I was looking at it. I think we were just talking more covered call there. So yes, okay. But Roman, I mean, you've got your Amazon plan in place already for longer term, correct? Hopefully all of you do. Amazon, Google. Me too. I still never bought my last 20% of Amazon. Just got away from me on their earnings, and I never felt enough of a pullback to take an entry. But I still have one more entry to take. Doing really well considering that, you know, we've had great moves on Amazon from where we got it. So, all right. Well, there you have it, everyone. So Lee's dropped a couple of links in the chat box, guys. So go ahead and check those out. There's a lot of great trading resources out there. Bookmark the tradinglikeaboss.com page, which is our website, right? It's our sister site, where we have all of our free offerings are going to be up there. So if you're looking for resources on how do I do this, how do I do that, that's a great place to go. You're going to see links up there week in and week out. You're going to start seeing things there to take you back to certain social media platforms. And then if you haven't already seen it, how many of you have seen the newsletter that we're putting out on Sundays now? Just give me a 1 for yes, a 2 for no. It's called Market Intelligence Report. So we send an email out on Sunday. I got mine this Sunday at 12 o'clock Eastern time. And this is it, right? Coaches update. Right now, it's just me, right? Ultimately, I want to get other coaches to do this a weekly update. This is a YouTube video, 6 minutes long, with me talking about the S&P 500, the market, what I anticipate for this week, okay? And it's all typed out as well. So there's every word I said is right there if you would rather read it than watch it. Put it on mute and watch it anyway so you get us the view on YouTube. I'd appreciate it, right? Brandon's got some stuff coming up here. right? Here are the trainings for this week that are coming up, and then the major earnings that we're looking at this week as well. Tyson being right there, right? And then, of course, any economic reports that are major reports are all listed here as well. All right. So, yeah, Trip said I didn't get an email, but I went to check it out. It should come to everybody, period, that's on our database should get this, because this is our regular email sequence that we send out, right? So instead of putting all of this into the email, we've now built it on its own page. If you bookmark this page, wealthbuildershq.com/newsletter, this is where you'll find it. It's updated on a Friday afternoon. If you check back after 5 p.m., it's normally done because we send it out for Sunday, right? So if you're looking for last week's, come Friday night, it's gone. Right, we've wiped it out and added, new material on there, new content on there. Okay, awesome. Yeah, have Trip check his spam folder. Good point, Jim. Wendy said, "Got it. Thanks. I enjoy your enthusiasm and energy, as well as Brandon and Tony's. Have a great day. You as well, Wendy. So make it a profitable day, everybody. We'll leave the room open for a little while so you can grab those links that were in there. Lee's dropped the link in there for this newsletter I talked about. He dropped in for Trading Like a Boss. So go ahead and check those out. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see all of you at our next update. All right, take care, everyone. See you then. Bye for now.